How's it going? I'm Tim Snow with QT2 Systems, and today we'll take a look at VO2 max versus lactate threshold, the endurance athlete's dilemma. Are you focusing on the right metric for your own endurance training? Many triathletes and other endurance athletes are confused about VO2 max and lactate threshold. Which one matters more, and how should you train to improve them? Today we'll break it all down so that you can optimize your training and maximize your performance on race day. First, let's talk about VO2 max. VO2 max is your body's maximum oxygen uptake during intense exercise. Essentially, how efficiently you can take in and use oxygen. Here's why it matters. It represents your body's ability to utilize oxygen during high-intensity exercise. A high VO2 max indicates great aerobic capacity and endurance potential. With regards to trainability, the good news is that you can improve your VO2 max with high intensity interval training, and altitude training. While VO2 max is a great overall indicator of endurance potential, it's not the only factor that determines how fast you'll be on race day. Now let's talk about lactate threshold, arguably one of the most critical endurance metrics. Your lactate threshold is the intensity at which lactate builds up faster than your body can clear it. When this happens, fatigue sets in faster. Here's why it matters. It represents the point where lactate accumulates faster than it is cleared. Your lactate threshold determines your sustainable race pace and overall endurance. As for trainability, unlike VO2 max, lactate threshold is highly trainable through structured workouts like tempo runs, threshold intervals, and progressive long runs. If your VO2 max is like the size of your engine, then your lactate threshold determines how efficiently you can use that power. So, which of these two metrics is more important for your own performance? It actually depends on the race distance that you're training for. For shorter distances like 5K, 10K, or sprint triathlons, VO2 max plays a bigger role because these events rely on your ability to sustain higher intensities. For longer distance events, like the half marathon, Olympic triathlon, 70.3 races, lactate threshold is more critical because endurance at sub-maximal intensities matters more. For the ultra endurance events like Ironman or ultra running, 100-mile cycling races like Leadville, efficiency and lactate threshold are key as these races rely on aerobic durability rather than peak oxygen uptake. Now that you know the differences between VO2 max and lactate threshold, let's talk about how to train each of them. To improve your VO2 max, high intensity interval training, HIIT. VO2 max intervals of 30 seconds to 3 minutes at near maximal effort, and if you can, altitude training. In order to prove your lactate threshold, tempo runs that are just below your threshold pace, threshold intervals that you can sustain efforts at just above or below lactate threshold, and progressive long runs to build endurance and efficiency. By combining both types of training, you can build your high-end speed and long-distance endurance, which is key to being a well-rounded endurance athlete. So, what's the best approach? Balance both VO2 max and lactate threshold training to ensure you're maximizing your own performance. If you found this helpful, make sure to like and subscribe and comment below. What's your next big race, and which metric do you think you need to focus more on? Need a structured training plan? Check out QT2 Systems for our one-on-one coaching and mission plans for personalized training that will align with your goals. Subscribe now for more science-based endurance training insights. See you next time.